With the trade deadline coming up fast, the Knicks are rumored to be linked to another Utah Jazz player, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel from Knicks Digest, and let's get right into today's video. Yesterday, Sports Illustrated reporter Jared Kosh came out with an article talking about a Utah Jazz player that's going to be linked to the New York Knicks. And yeah, we're talking about Kelly Olynyk. So, if we dive into the article itself, he proposed a trade that would send Kelly Olynyk and Talen Horton-Tucker to the Knicks, and the Knicks would have to give up Evan Fournier and the 2024 first-round pick to the Utah Jazz. Now, at first glance, looking at this mock trade, the first thing that jumps out to me is that first-round pick. Am I sure I want to give up a first-round pick for Kelly Olynyk and Talen Horton-Tucker? I'm not too sure. If it was just Evan Fournier, and if it was just one of the two players, Talen Horton-Tucker or Kelly Olynyk, I might be a little bit more so into it. But with that first round draft pick, man, I'm not sure if I'm willing to give it up for the caliber of player of Kelly Olynyk and Talen Horton-Tucker. Kelly Olynyk right now looked at as a veteran player who can definitely provide that veteran leadership to players and to young players. But at this point of his career, he's absolutely looking for an opportunity to win. I'm not saying that if he comes to the Knicks, he'll be okay with the trade because we have an opportunity to win a championship, because even though we're at a good stage right now, we still have significant pieces that we need to add to the roster. But as far as Kelly Olynyk, if I was him, I would definitely be ecstatic. Right now, the Utah Jazz, they're in a rebuilding, retooling mode. The leader of the team is Lauri Markkanen, but there's been rumors that he's been linked to Oklahoma City Thunder. And if they're able to land Lauri Markkanen with that young up-and-coming roster, that's going to be crazy. But as far as Kelly Olynyk and the Knicks, Kelly Olynyk would definitely be more happier with the Knicks than the Utah Jazz. The Knicks, I feel like they're in a better position, especially being in the East. In the East, there's really only maybe like two, maybe three teams. You got Philly, you got Milwaukee, and you definitely got Boston. Adding Kelly Olynyk to the team would definitely be a plus from the standpoint of just adding bodies and adding rotational players. You know, people that you can definitely depend on for giving you NBA minutes and being a professional basketball player. Because right now, even though the reports about Mitchell Robinson coming back towards the end of the season are very optimistic, if you add Kelly Olynyk to the team, that's another big body. He can definitely substitute for Mitchell Robinson at the 5 and give it Isaiah Hartenstein definitely a break. And now that I'm thinking about it in real time, Kelly Olynyk, when he's able to provide, we know that if you're a basketball head, if you're a hoop head, you know that he can spread the floor. He could definitely step behind the line and hit the 3. But I was watching the highlights last night of the Lakers and the Utah Jazz game where Utah beat the Lakers. LeBron wasn't playing, but they still had AD, D'Angelo Russell, Cam Reddish, Vanderbilt, Christian Wood, Austin Reeves, and the Lakers still lost. That's another story. The Lakers are a nightmare right now. But as far as the highlights, when I was watching Kelly Olynyk, I saw a lot of highlights where he grabbed the rebound, he brought the ball up the floor, and there were numerous times where he was setting up the plays for other players. There was one in particular highlight where he threw an alley-oop from the three-point line, and I forgot the player's name. But with seeing that highlight, the next thought that I had was Isaiah Hartenstein and Kelly Olynyk. If we have those two bigs, rotational bigs, and Isaiah Hartenstein has been able to show off his offensive prowess as far as creating plays for others, in addition to having that little floater in the paint wherever somebody else is setting him up, that's where Mitchell Robinson again doesn't have that capability. The only thing that Mitchell Robinson is able to do as of right now is he's one of, if not the best rebounder in the game, offensively and defensively, and you can definitely do alley-oops. He's more of a defensive anchor. Kelly Olynyk and Isaiah Hartenstein, they're not really defensive anchors. Maybe you can make the argument for Isaiah Hartenstein, but Isaiah Hartenstein and Kelly Olynyk, what they're able to do that Mitchell Robinson isn't, is they have a little bit more to their offensive game, which of course in the playoffs, which the Knicks, the only goal that we have right now is to try and see how we can further ourselves to go deeper into the playoffs. But in the playoffs, the more players that you have on the court that can create for others or create for themselves, that's always going to be a plus. And if we dive into Kelly Olynyk's numbers, right now for the Utah Jazz, he's averaging 8 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.5 assists, converting 55% from the field, and 42.9, which we can round up to 43% from 3-point. Now, anytime a player is averaging from 39 to 45% of 3-point, that's definitely looked at as a plus. And seeing how Kelly Olynyk is averaging 43%, that's definitely a plus. The only thing with Kelly Olynyk that I'm not a huge fan of is like I understand what he's able to provide, but he, I don't know, man. Something about him, and maybe it's just that he's just not as athletic. And then when you go into the playoffs and you go deeper into the playoffs, the caliber of players that you're playing, it just increases. The intensity increases. Like, let's say the Knicks go up against Philadelphia, and you got Isaiah Hartenstein starting at the 5, right? But then Kelly Olynyk is obviously going to be the big man behind Isaiah Hartenstein. If Mitchell Robinson doesn't come back, then you got Kelly Olynyk matching up with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is going to absolutely cook him. Isaiah Hartenstein might do a better of a job on Embiid, but I don't know, man. That's just one of my gripes with Olynyk. He's just not as athletic, and I just feel like he would definitely get taken advantage of and just be abused by the other bigs in the NBA. The other player that's included in this mock trade is Talen Horton-Tucker. And if we take a look at the numbers here for Talen Horton-Tucker, we got 11 points, 2.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, shooting 41% from the field and 33.3% from three-point, converting 78% of his free throws. Now, if you remember Talen Horton-Tucker, he was actually a part of that Laker team that won the championship in the bubble. And again, just a little tidbit about the Lakers. In my personal opinion, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Ever since they won that championship in the bubble, or the bubble championship, I don't know what they're doing, man. They had an amazing team with Caruso, obviously AD, LeBron, J.R. Smith was on that team. Rondo was the starting point guard, I believe. They just had a lot of players and pieces that fit. What ends up happening? LeBron wants a particular player on his team, and at this point, he wants Russell Westbrook, and they end up trading. They end up trading a lot of pieces in order to get Russell Westbrook. Now, the Russell Westbrook experience obviously didn't work out, and the Lakers ever since they've been a mess, honestly. What I like about Talen Horton-Tucker, if you take a look into the graphic, the positions that he plays, he's a shooting guard, but he's also playing point guard. And right now, one of the biggest questions that we have is Jalen Brunson starting point guard, but who's going to be that point guard coming off the bench to give Brunson a breather? Right now, in this moment, is Deuce McBride. And even though Deuce has been playing well as of late, you can tell that the Knicks are giving him more responsibility and they're actually wanting to see what he can provide to the team. But what's going to happen when the playoffs come around? Are Knicks fans, is the Knicks organization, are they going to be comfortable with giving Deuce those type of minutes? Or if we actually entertain this mock trade and we do get Kelly Olynyk and we do get Talen Horton-Tucker, now we have somebody that's a little bit more proven in his NBA career to back up a Brunson. Talen Horton-Tucker, he's a bigger body. I do want to say that he's a little bit more athletic. There have been instances, and he's shown highlights of him being able to explode and attack the rim. He does have a nice ball handling skill. He could shoot the three, even though in the graphic it does say that he's shooting 33% from the field. He has the ability to shoot that three. But right now, one of my main concerns is just who's going to be backing up Brunson. Now, if this mock trade doesn't end up happening, I'm very interested to see who Leon Rose is going to be targeting at the trade deadline. There's been a lot of rumors with the Utah Jazz, different players. In this video, I'm talking about Kelly Olynyk and Talen Horton-Tucker. But in one of my previous videos, I was actually talking about there's another mock trade between Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton. Now, these four players being linked to the Knicks, I don't know, man. Whatever there's fire, there's smoke, or whatever there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not sure what that saying is. I think I messed it up. But you guys catch my drift. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Leave it in the comments and let me know what you guys think about this mock draft. Kelly Olynyk and Talen Horton-Tucker for Evan Fournier and a first-round draft pick. Are you guys for it or nah? Leave it in the comments and we'll check you out on the next video. Peace.